Welcome to the 6th Welfare and Safety of the Racehorse Summit. I'm Ed Bowen, the president of the Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation, one of the organizations underwriting it, along with our parent company, the Jockey Club. And we want to extend our thanks to Keeneland for once again allowing us to use their facility. Keeneland is a wonderful host, does so many things in front and up front and behind the scenes for racing. We really appreciate Keeneland. As I say, this is the 6th summit. Summits grew from a meeting in 2005 that the Grayson Foundation assembled with a lot of different stakeholders. This was before Barbaro and before 8 Bells, but we were in the process. And the first summit enjoyed the expertise of Dan Fick, who was involved in how it was organized. Dan was executive vice president of the Jockey Club at the time, and I'm delighted that he's back. He will be on the stage today in his role as a steward. So we're proud of what the safety summits have done in the past. Today we're going to emphasize a lot on continuing education. I hope that we can make trainers recognize that what we're trying to do is help them keep horses safe, not interfere with how they train their horses. We don't have a panel saying you should breeze 3 furlongs on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. We're trying to be a help, and I think the racing commissions who have been interested in continuing education but found it a budgetary problem, hope they'll be delighted at what we described that is free today. If they're concerned about how they could ever track who takes the classes, that's free too and is all set up for them. So at the end of the day, if you're a racing commissioner and you like the idea of continuing education, I hope you'll find that a lot of things have been solved for you. If you're a journalist and you think continuing education is a good idea, I hope you will not spare the word. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies. Donna Barton Brothers, as we know, was born with racing in her blood. Her mother, Patty, was one of the first half-dozen women to be licensed as a jockey in the United States. And if you're old enough to remember the late 60s when that was happening, that was some real pioneering because the girl jockeys really met resistance. The males cannot look back and be terribly proud of how that was handled, but the females prevailed. Surprise. Donna herself rode for almost a dozen years, and when she retired in 1988, she was the second leading female jockey in the country by money earned and had won nearly 1,200 races. She then segued into the television world. As you know, she's one of the most visible and articulate people on racing telecasts, and here lately she had the great pleasure of bringing us the remarks of the winning jockey of the Triple Crown. She and her husband, former trainer Frank Brothers, are both affiliated with the very successful Starlight Racing, and she is she's Chief Operating Officer of Starlight. So it's a great pleasure to introduce your Master of Ceremonies, Donna Barton Brothers.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, everyone, for that nice introduction and warm welcome. And thank you for coming today. I want to welcome everybody who's here today. We have even a larger audience online doing video streaming today, so I want to welcome all the people who are joining us online as well. We have a great day ahead of us. I know it looks like an ambitious agenda. When I first got the agenda from Ed, I'm going to be honest with you, I looked at that and thought 8:30 to 5 o'clock, and it's just vets and experts talking. I'm going to need a lot of coffee to get me through this day, and I don't even drink coffee, but then I got the pleasure of meeting with Ed Bowen and Kathy O'Mara, and we discussed what the agenda was going to be. We met for lunch, and right now I'm excited about every single panelist, every single presentation, and we have a great day ahead. I think you're going to find there's a little something for everyone. As Ed mentioned, I'm a former jockey. At one point, I was married to a horse trainer until my husband retired from training, and now he's in the bloodstock agent business, and now I cover horse racing on television. And, you know, in all of those roles, I would like to see a day where, especially now, we never have to cover one more catastrophic breakdown on television. And I don't think we're ever going to be able to get 100% there, but a lot of the research that they're doing now and that we're going to hear about today is at least moving us in that direction. So there's some really good news to learn today. A few items of business I want to cover before we get started. If you feel compelled to share any of the information you're hearing today via Twitter, then please use the hashtag Horse Summit, so that's the # and then Horse Summit, all one word, to bring attention to today's Racing Welfare Summit. If you also feel compelled to discuss any of the information you're hearing today, and you probably will, please go to the Northern Dancer Bar. It's right around the corner. If you look behind you at some point or when you get up to walk out, at all the exit doors, you can see that there's slats of wood above the exit doors, and there's nothing in between those slats of wood. So if you're talking in the corridors, whether you know it or not, those conversations can't help but to filter into this room, and it can get kind of noisy in here. Also, due to time constraints, we're not going to be able to take questions from the audience, but if you have questions, you can email the Jockey Club at go to the Contact Us web or link at their website, but the email address is contactus@grayson-jockeyclub.org. So that's contactus@grayson-jockeyclub.org. Our breaks and lunch will be in the Limestone Cafe, so that everyone can return from the lunch hour politely in a timely manner. We're going to flash the lights about 10 minutes before lunch break is over and the summit resumes. And each panel is going to have a moderator, and each presentation will have a presenter. I'm going to serve only to introduce each new subject in the moderator and the presenter, just in case you're wondering how a former jockey would have the expertise to stand up here and introduce such a cerebral and analytical group. I don't, but I work in television now, so even if I have no idea what they're talking about, I will pretend like I do know what they're talking about. So, let's not delay anymore. We're going to start. Our first presentation is going to be on the Jockey Injury Database and Racing Equipment. So the Jockey Injury Database started in 2013 here at Keeneland and has made great strides since then. We're lucky to have Keeneland on the forefront of a lot of the technology and advances that we have in our sport. Dr. Carl Medicola is going to be, is going to be the presenter for this particular subject. Dr. Medicola is a professor and serves as the director of the Post-Professional Athletic Training Master's Program in the Rehabilitation Sciences Doctoral Program at the University of Kentucky. The doctoral program is a multidisciplinary program consisting of athletic training, communication sciences and disorders, physical therapy, and occupational therapy. He received his bachelor's degree in physical education athletic training from Canisius College in Buffalo, New York. He completed his Doctor of Philosophy degree in sports medicine and received his Master's of Education degree, both at the University of Virginia. Dr. Medicola has held various positions as an athletic trainer and as a professor, including Temple University in Pennsylvania and Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia. He is editor of the Journal of Sports Rehabilitation. His research has focused on directing research in the area of functional assessment of human function, postural control, and strength following injury and subsequent surgical procedures. He lives in Lexington, Kentucky with his wife, Kathleen Medicola. Dr. Carl Medicola, if you'll please come up.